Everyone. Thanks for joining me today. So we'll get started in a seated position. And so if sitting directly on the floor is uncomfortable for you, because for whatever reason, there can be a million reasons why that's true for you. But if it is true for you, then elevate the hips. Sit onto a bolster or a pillow, something to bring the hips above the knees, so that you can give the hips a little bit more space. And then from there, you'll be able to find a straight spine if that's difficult. So you can rest the hands on the thighs or the knees, close the eyes if it's comfortable, to allow a moment to drop into the body. Feeling the sit bones making contact, the pelvis making contact with the support underneath, so that you feel this stability coming from the earth. And then from that stability, feel the spine lengthening, bringing a sense of lightness throughout the entire spine, all the way out through the crown of the head. So you're finding the straight spine, holding the spine straight, but as relaxed as possible. So perhaps scanning the body from the pelvis all the way up through the crown of the head, and noticing if there's anywhere you can relax. Maybe there's somewhere you're holding on where you don't need to be. So maybe it's around the shoulders and the neck. Maybe it's around the lower belly, around the rib cage, in the diaphragm. Maybe it's behind the eyes and the throat. Maybe it's all those places. And your next breath in, take a deep breath into these spaces. And on the exhale, softening deeper and deeper. There's always another layer that you can relax, another level of release and relaxation that you can experience. Good. Coming into the breath, so noticing the breath moving in and out through the nostrils. And we'll begin to bring in the breath that'll support us through the practice. So as you inhale, draw the lowest part of the lower belly in and up, like you're lifting the belly out of the pelvis. But as you inhale, allow the upper belly to soften and expand, so that you feel this expansion in all directions, through the rib cage and through the diaphragm. So you're filling from the lowest part of the lungs, of the diaphragm, all the way up to the clavicle bones. And then allowing the exhales to passively move out without squeezing the lower belly in. Finding a long, deep, steady breath. Take a few more breaths at your own pace. And on your next inhale, perhaps feeling the sit bones rooting down into the earth as you feel this three-dimensional expansion. And as you exhale, feel the heart lifting and opening, the crown of the head reaching up towards the sky or the ceiling. A couple more like that. Inhale, feel the sit bones rooting down as you expand. As you exhale, feel the heart lifting and spreading as you release, relax. Good. One more like that. Inhale. Softening. Exhale, releasing any tension in the throat. Inhale, let's bring the palms to heart center, and we'll start with an Om together. On your next inhale, you can open the eyes. If they were closed, just rest the hands back down onto your thighs, your knees. And let's start with some gentle movements in tabletop. So we'll do some cat-cows. So make your way into a tabletop position. And on your next inhale, gently moving into a cow position. I'm not really sure why it's called cow, but lifting the sit bones, lifting the heart, so you're arching the back. And then exhale, rounding as you drop the tailbone and drop the head. And keep moving like that at your own pace, just to warm up the spine a little bit, and just noticing what the spine feels like today, what the body feels like, what the breath is like today, and moving according to that. And then perhaps seeing if you can initiate these movements from the pelvis. And then everything else follows along the spine. So as you inhale, first lifting the sit bones and then allowing the rest of the spine to follow like a wave so that the head is the last thing to lift. And as you exhale, initiating it by dropping the tailbone so the sit bones move down towards the floor, and then the rest of the spine follows vertebrae by vertebrae so that the head is the last thing to drop as you root through the hands. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. We'll just do a couple more like this. Remember, at your own pace, just tuning into every movement along the spine, tuning into the breath, being the initiator of these movements. Go ahead, finishing your last round. And go slow or fast. And when you're ready, you can tuck the toes and reach the hips up and back for downward facing dog.
You can come easy to this first down dog, bend one knee, and then bend the other knee. Relaxing the neck. Stay connected to the breath. To the deep, steady inhales and exhales that we established at the beginning. Good, and we'll come both legs straight and both legs bent. Pressing through the hands, reaching the hips up and back, reaching the chest towards the thighs. One more breath here. Fully exhaling.
And at the bottom of the exhale, step or jump to the top. Keep the feet hip-width distance apart. Bend the knees and we'll just hang over the legs here for a moment. You can grab onto opposite elbows. Bend the knees as much as you need to so you can feel the lower back and all the muscles along the spine releasing. Deep breaths. Again, feeling deeper and deeper levels to release. Where are you holding on? And we'll bend the knees, and on the next inhale, roll up through the spine. So let the arms hang, let the head hang as you roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Go as slowly as you need to. And at the top, you can bring the feet together, or you can keep the feet apart if that felt really grounded for you. And we'll come into Samasthiti, feeling the feet rooting down through the four corners. And then lifting the arches, lifting the kneecaps, engaging the quads, feeling the tailbone and the pubic bone moving down towards each other. And from that downward movement, feel the upward movement of the spine lifting out of the pelvis, all the way out through the crown of the head. And so finding that center line, you might need to draw the chin back and down a little bit to feel that alignment from the spine through the neck, through the crown of the head. Spreading the heart, rolling the collarbones back and down without closing the backside, without squeezing the shoulder blades. We'll take a deep breath in as you feel the feet rooting down into the mat, the tailbone and the pubic bone moving down towards each other. And as you exhale, feel the spine rising up, the heart lifting, the crown of the head lifting. One more breath like that. Inhale, feel the rooting down pattern. Exhale, feel the reaching up, lengthening, opening pattern. Inhale, let's bring the arms over your head, palms touch. Exhale, fold forward with a long spine, hands to the mat. Bend the knees if you need to. Inhale into half lift, lengthening. Exhale, step back into a plank. Lower the knees if you need to modify it as you bend the elbows. You can come all the way down to the mat, point the toes, inhale into upward facing dog, lifting the chest any amount. You can just do a baby cobra here if that's what serves you. Exhale into downward facing dog, so moving through tabletop, or you can roll through the toes. We'll take a few breaths here in downward facing dog. And if you want to bring in a little bit of a side stretch, you can pivot the heels over towards the left side of the mat and let the hips drop down over to the left side of the mat. So you keep reaching through that right hand, lengthening the right side of the body. Deeply breathe into the side of the body. We'll switch sides, pivot the heels towards the right, and keep reaching that left hand down into the mat. Deeply breathe into the side of the body. Relax the neck. Inhale back to the center for one deep breath. Fully exhaling. Step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, come to stand, reach the arms over your head. Exhale, Samasthiti. Let's do another Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back, knees lifted or lowered, bend the elbows. Inhale, lift the heart any amount. Maybe if you're coming all the way up, keep the elbows micro bent a little bit. Exhale, downward facing dog. You could always take child's pose at any moment. And if you want to add a three-legged dog, bring the left foot towards the center of the mat, reach the right leg up. All the way up so you can stack the hips, so you can open that right hip out to the side, and maybe bending the knee and reaching the right foot over towards the left shoulder. Keep lifting the knee up as you root the hands down into the mat. One more breath on this side. And exhale. Switch sides, right foot comes towards the center, lift the left leg up. Open the hips, bend the left knee, and let that left foot fall over towards the right shoulder. Keep rooting through both hands evenly. Opening the front of the left hip. Deep breaths, one more. And come back to the center for one more breath. Step or jump to the top of the mat. Press through the feet as you half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come to stand, reach the arms up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Good. Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, bend the knees and lift the arms and the heart. Exhale, fold forward, straighten the legs as much as it's comfortable. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back, slowly lower. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, right foot forward, lower the back heel. Inhale, come up into Virabhadrasana. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, come up into warrior one, Virabhadrasana. Exhale, frame the left foot. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog or child pose. Just for a couple of breaths. One more breath. We're going to keep moving, fully exhaling. Step or jump to the top. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, lift the arms. Exhale, Samasthiti. We're going to add on to Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, a half lift. Exhale, step or jump back, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, right foot forward, back heel down. Inhale, Virabhadrasana. Exhale, open up to Virabhadrasana B for a couple breaths. Bend into that right knee, gaze over the right fingers. Relax the shoulders. One more breath. And we're coming into reverse warrior. You can slide that left hand down the left leg as you reach back through the right fingers. So you're opening again the right side of the body. Inhale, reach through the right fingers. Exhale, bend into the right knee. One more breath here. And then exhale, frame the right foot. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, Virabhadrasana A, and then open up right away to Virabhadrasana B. Gazing steadily over the left fingers, strong legs. Feel the thighs externally rotating as you drop the tailbone. Good. On your next exhale into reverse warrior, right hand slides down the leg, reach back through your left fingers. Keep dropping the tailbone and moving that left knee over the left ankle. Inhale, reach through the left hand. Exhale, bend a little bit deeper into the left knee. One more. And as you exhale, come back around, frame the left foot. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose for a couple of breaths. Feel that heat building from the inside. Find that deep, steady breath. One more. Good. Again, we're going to bring the right foot forward. Lower the back heel. Inhale, Virabhadrasana A. Exhale, Virabhadrasana B. Inhale here. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale here. And exhale a little bit deeper. Good. Inhale, come out of it. Straighten the right leg. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, humble warrior. Bend into the right knee. And fold on the inside of the thigh, allowing the hands to move away from the hips. Good. Keep the legs strong. Moving deeper into the hip flexion on the right side. One more breath. Inhale, come up. Come back into Virabhadrasana B just for a moment, and then we're going to shift into half moon pose. So you're going to come onto the right foot, bring that right hand to the top right corner of the mat, or maybe it's off the mat, and pick up that left leg. Reach the left arm up. If your hand can't reach the floor, you can bring the hand to a block. And you're flexing the left foot, maybe spinning the foot down a little bit so you internally rotate through the left thigh. Reach back through the left heel, reach forward through the heart. One more breath here. We're going to stay here. We're going to be on this right leg for a little bit. You're going to bring that left hand down to the floor. So we're in Digasana, Warrior 3. And you're going to square the hips now. So lower that left hip so it's in line with the right hip. Draw the lower belly in. Keep reaching back through that left heel, forward through the heart. One more breath. And you're going to softly bend into the right knee, step the left foot back, inhale into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale, right foot forward. Inhale, Virabhadrasana A on the left side. Left foot forward. Exhale, Virabhadrasana B. Inhale. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, hold it. Maybe go a little bit deeper. Exhale. One more breath in. And exhale, come out of it, straighten the left leg. Inhale, interlace the fingers. Exhale, humble warrior. Releasing the neck and the shoulders. Strong legs, press through the feet. Moving deeper into that left hip. One more. We'll come into Virabhadrasana B. Come out of it, and then exhale, shift forward onto the left foot. Pick up the right leg. Use a block underneath the left hand if you need to. And you're reaching that right arm straight up. And you're reaching out through all four limbs. And then also the heart is reaching forward. So you feel really expanded out in all directions. Maybe you're gazing up if you feel balanced. Good. One more breath here. Exhale, bring that right hand down to the floor for Digasana with the hips squared. Strong leg, pressing through that left foot. Drawing the lower belly in, so you're hollowing through the pelvis. And feel that right heel reaching back, the heart reaching forward. Deep, steady breaths. One more. Exhale, softly bend into the left knee. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. Couple breaths. Come back into the breath, into that deep, steady, rhythmic breathing. One more breath here. Go on your next inhale. Again, right foot forward. This time, keep the back heel lifted. Left hand stays on the floor. Reach the right arm up. We're coming into a twist. Keep reaching up through that right hand. And bend the right knee a little bit more as you reach back through the left heel. One more breath here. On your next inhale, you're going to lift up as you reach the right arm back, reach the left arm forward. So you're still twisting, facing the right side of the mat. You can keep the arms reaching out, or you can bring the left hand to the outside of the right thigh and the right hand to the outside of the left thigh. And to press into the thighs and deepen into the twist. As you keep bending into the right knee, reaching back through the left heel. One more breath. Drop the tailbone if you can. Exhale. Come back down, frame the right foot, and then move the right foot to the outside edge of the right mat. Good, so the hands are on the inside. Good, you can stay here. You can lower down to your forearms. If you absolutely need to, you can. Or if you just want to also, you can lower that back knee. If you want to activate it and deepen it, lift the back knee and maybe reach the arms forward for Krishnasana. So we're allowing the pelvis to move down towards the floor, deepening into the hip flexion on the right side and hip extension on the left side. Good, couple more breaths here. Really go into it, deepen into it, and relax where you can. One more breath. Good, inhale, walk the hands back. And now this is a little bit of a tricky transition. So we're gonna swing the left foot in front of us. So we'll see if you can do that without touching. You can bend the left knee and then reach it forward. So we're going to come into like this pistol squat. You're squatting on the right side and the left leg is straight out in front of you. All right. And then we're going to reach forward. If you can keep the hands on the floor. Or if you can, maybe you're catching the left foot and lifting the foot off the floor. If this is difficult, if the squat on the right side is difficult for you, you could also sit on a block. And then maybe see if you can lift the leg that way. And you got options as always. Maybe you have one foot hand on the floor, the left hand on the floor, and the right hand is just catching wherever it can catch. Or just keep the foot on the floor, folding forward. So I like to rest my chest on the right thigh. So it's not like Marichyasana A. Good, a couple more breaths wherever you are. If you have the left leg lifted, you can think about pressing the right foot into the mat, lifting the hips a little bit so that right leg is active. Okay, exhale, come down. That can be a fun challenge. And let's come into Janu Sirsasana A on the right side. So bending the right knee. Inhale, square the shoulders over the left leg. Exhale, fold. Again, catching the left foot or just having the hands alongside the leg. And if you have anything going on with the knee, you could always prop the knee up with a block. And use the breath to settle into this posture. Inhale, maybe coming out of it a little bit to make space for the breath. And then exhale as you allow the spine to sort of wave back down into a new space. One more breath here. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release that. And keep the right knee where it is. We're going to do a side stretch. So you're going to reach the left hand so that it's perpendicular to the left leg. Press the hand down into the mat and reach the right arm up. So we're opening towards the right side and then reaching over. The right hand is reaching up or over towards the left foot. Good. You could also come onto that right elbow if that depth feels okay. If not, you can just keep the left arm straight. So we're kind of going into a little bit of a twist and then a side stretch. So we'll be here for a couple more breaths. And wherever you are, thinking about pressing the left hand or the left elbow down into the mat as you reach that right side of the hip down into the mat and drop the tailbone. And if you do those actions, you'll feel a really nice stretch in the side of the body. Good. One more deep breath, breathing into the side body. And gently come out of it. Good. We'll do one more posture here, Marichyasana C. So plant the right foot. So the right knee comes up towards your chest, and we're going to twist over to the right. So you can inhale. I like to lean back, reach the left arm up, drop the tailbone, round the spine. And then once I feel like I have a lot of space here, then shifting forward. Sometimes I even like to lift that right sit bone off the floor. And so you can either bring the left elbow to the outside of the right thigh and press the right thigh and the left elbow into each other. You could also go for the bind if that's accessible for you. If both those versions are too much, just hug the right knee, lift the heart, reach it back. Good. Deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale, deepen into the twist. Good. One more breath here. And exhale. Come out of that. And let's take a vinyasa. So you can cross the shins, lift up, or just roll over the feet. Inhale, make your way into a high plank. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's do all of that on the left side. So bring the left foot forward, keep the right knee heel lifted. Plant the right hand, reach the left arm up. So we started with these twists up here. See if I can remember. Good. So feel that expansion as you press the right hand down, reach the left arm up, and as you bend into the left knee, reach the right heel back. Good, one more breath here. Inhale, come up into that twisted lunge. Good, so you're facing the left side of the mat, reach the left arm back, the right arm forward, or catch onto the outsides of the thighs to deepen into the twist. Maybe drop the tailbone. Keep bending into the knee. Pressing the hands into the thighs. Good, one more breath here. Exhale, release. Frame the left foot. And then bring the hand to the inside of the left foot as you move that foot to the left side of the mat. Find your version of this lizard that you want to work with. Hands on the mat, forearms on the mat. If you need to bring the right knee down, you can. You can do whatever you want, actually. Or if you want to deepen into it, pick up that back knee and reach the arms forward. Deep breaths. Really move the attention into the space of the hips. Two more deep breaths. Good, walk the hands back if you reach them forward. And then again, bring the foot towards the center of the mat. And then bring that right leg through for that pistol squat. And pick up the right foot if that's possible. And catch the foot if that's possible. So just find your version. This is a tricky posture. That works for you. Sit on a block if that's what you need. But if you're catching both feet, I like to think about reaching the base of the right big toe forward so that you can pull back with the hands. Rest the chest on the thighs and drop the tailbone. So it kind of feels nice to spread the backside like that. And then maybe you press into the left foot, lift the hips a little bit so that left thigh is super engaged. One more breath wherever you are. And then exhale. Just sit down. Come into Janu Sirsasana on the left side. Go ahead, inhale, square the shoulders over the right leg. And exhale, fold. The right leg is engaged. You're rooting that right heel into the mat as you reach forward through the right big toe, the base of the right big toe. But then at the same time, you're relaxing around the left hip so that the left side of the body can sort of lengthen a little bit more than the right side. Use the breath to find new spaces. One more here. Inhale, slowly come out of it. Let's come into that side stretch. So reach the right arm perpendicular to the left leg. And as you press the hand down into the mat, you're opening up. So you come into that, a little bit of a twist. So you kind of open the heart towards the back side of the mat. Reach the left arm up or over towards the right leg. Keep that right leg strong. Maybe you lower down to the forearm. And as you press the hand or the elbow of the right arm into the mat, press the left side of the hip down into the mat, drop the tailbone, and reach through those right hands. Good. Draw the lower belly in. Deep breaths into the side body. One more here. And inhale, slowly come out of it. Let's move to Marichyasana C, so plant the left foot. Inhale, you can lean back if that works for you. Lift the right arm up. Drop the tailbone around the spine and then shift forward. And then whatever makes contact is where you should work today. Either the elbow is coming to the outside or you're closing that gap in the outside of the right shoulder is coming to the outside of the left knee. You can keep the elbow bent. You can go for the bind. Or you can just hug the knee. Draw the lower belly in and see if you can maintain those deep, steady breaths, even though it's a little bit trickier here. So maybe even finding more space through the back side, through the left side of the rib cage, allowing the diaphragm to continue expanding even in this form. One more breath. And then exhale, release that. Good. All right, let's take a vinyasa. Roll over the feet or lift up to jump back into plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's come to a seated position. Hug the knees into the chest and find that space between the sit bones and the sacrum. And then come to your tippy toes so that you don't have a lot of weight on the feet. Good. And then bring the arms out to the side. And we'll hold it here as you drop the shoulders down and lift the heart. Deep breaths. Feel the energy kind of gathering into the pelvis, into the core of the body. And so you're working the front of the hips to keep the knees towards the chest with the feet barely touching. Good, one more breath here. Where can you relax? Good, and then release that. Let the knees fall out to the side. Good, we'll do that again. You can do that version or you can start to lift the feet off the floor. So come back, bend the knees, draw the lower belly in. Maybe you lift the feet so they're in line with the knees, or maybe you straighten the legs all the way. For 5, find that space between the sit bones and the sacrum. Lift the heart. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Release that. Let the knees fall out to the side. We're going to do that again, whatever version of Navasana you want to do. But then after the 5 breaths, we'll lower down into a hollow body position where you really need to rotate the pelvis under so the lower back touches the floor. You have the option to bend the knees and bring the feet to the floor or legs straight. Okay. Find your Navasana, any version. 5, 4, 3. Feel that gathering of the energy at the base of the pelvis and into the core. 2, 1. Open up, rotate the pelvis so the lower back is touching, but the shoulders are lifted. 3, you can bend the knees if you need to. 2, strong front body. 1, inhale, come back up, open the knees, take a breath. We're going to do that again. Find your Navasana. 5, deep breaths. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. 5, 4. You can reach the arms over your head for extra challenge. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come up. Release the knees. Okay, let's take actually let's not take a vinyasa. Let's go straight into Baddha Konasana. So bring the feet together and lift the heart up. If you feel a lot of tension on the inner thighs, place some blocks underneath the knees or the thighs. If you bring the blocks like closer in towards the center, the knees will be a little bit higher. And then you further out you move the blocks, the lower the knees get. So if you need that support to release the inner thighs, use some blocks. Let's take a couple more breaths here with a straight spine. Drop the chin. Really draw the shoulders down the back. Good. One more deep breath here. And then exhale, fold forward. If you want, you can reach the arms forward onto your fingertips. Deep breaths. Good. Inhale. Walk the hands back. Let's come into a plank. So cross the shins. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale. Let's lower down all the way to our bellies. Good. And we'll come into a Sphinx position. So coming onto your forearms. And you can have the elbows underneath the shoulders, or if that's too much compression in the lower back, then slide the elbows forward a little bit. And we're gonna activate the Sphinx. So you're gonna press the tops of the feet into the mat, lift the kneecaps as you keep reaching back through the toes, and then press the elbows down and towards you. They're not gonna actually move, but you're pulling the heart through the shoulder blades. So you're working to create length along the spine, so it feels like you're lifting the rib cage away from the hips, and then press the shoulders down. Don't forget about the legs. Keep reaching back through the toes. For 3, keep pulling the elbows back. 2, deep breaths. And 1, slowly come down. Keep the legs strong. Keep reaching back through the toes, and then you're going to come onto your fingertips. You can either have the fingertips right next to the chest or a little bit in front. It depends on how deeply you want to move into this. On your next inhale, you're going to lift the heart, and then exhale, just come right back down, rolling one vertebrae at a time. And then again, inhale, lift up so that the head is the last thing to lift. And then exhale, so the head is the last thing to lower. Good. Again, inhale. So that a few more times. Coming up as high as you'd like. And then exhale. Make sure the shoulders don't creep up towards the ears. Again, inhale. Keep the legs strong. And exhale. Good. Bend the knees. Flex the feet. And keep the feet hip-width distance apart. Reach back to catch the ankles. Good, we're gonna keep the feet flexed. Inhale, lift into Dhanurasana. So you're gonna reach the heels up towards the ceiling, like you're reaching through the heels, and lift the heart as you lift the thighs. And now if you feel okay in the lower back, like there's some space, you can start to point the feet and maybe bring the feet together. For 5, 4, good. Strong legs. Keep kicking into the hands, kicking the feet as if you're going to straighten the legs. 1 more breath. And exhale. Release that. Good. Tuck the toes. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Good. Let's come down onto our knees into a puppy pose. So you can either put the elbows on the floor. There's so many versions of puppy pose you can work with. I'll show you a couple, but feel free to just go straight into the version you know you like. Bring the blocks shoulder width apart. Put the elbows onto the block. This also works just putting the elbows directly onto the floor. Bring the palms together. Send the heart through the arms so that the forehead comes towards the mat. And the heart sinks towards the mat, and the palms come back towards the space between the shoulder blades. If you want to deepen the rotation in the shoulders, you can move the palms away from each other so that only the fingertips are touching. Use the breath. Exhales allow you to melt the heart towards the floor. Couple more breaths here.
One more breath.
And gently come out of it. Take your time. And we're all going to meet lying down on our backs. So if you want to just go straight onto your back, if you want to take a vinyasa. Good. We'll bend the knees and plant the feet. And we're going to come into a bridge pose. Inhale with the feet just along the outside edges of the hips. And they can be close to the sit bones, or you can move the feet a little bit further away from the sit bones if you just need a little bit more space in the lower back. Feet parallel to each other so that the knees are coming straight out from the hips. Good. Arms alongside the body. Let's all take a deep breath in. We're going to move into this in parts. And then as you exhale, you're going to reach the tailbone. So you're going to rotate the pelvis so that the sit bones are reaching towards the heels. And then reach the sit bones and the tailbone towards the heels as you reach the knees forward. And that's going to lift the pelvis only a little bit off the floor. And we're just going to stay here. So you're not in the full bridge pose. You're just reaching the sit bones towards the heels, reaching the knees forward. And then from here, feel the inner thighs dropping down towards the floor. So the legs are really working here. Take another breath here. Good. On your next inhale, keep moving into the bridge pose. Press into the feet as you lift the pelvis up. And then the chest starts to move towards the chin. And try to keep that same activation of the legs, that same inner rotation of the thighs, the inner thighs dropping down towards the floor. And allow the chest to move towards the chin, not the chin towards the chest. So you're keeping the back of the head on the mat. Gently moving the chin a little bit away from the chest as the chest moves towards the chin and you're lifting the pelvis up. If you want to adjust the arms, you can interlace the fingers or maybe catch the ankles. Let's take about 3 more breaths here. And then as you come out of it, release the hands and you're going to roll down the spine 1 vertebrae at a time. You can even lift the heels a little bit if that helps. All the way to the bottom so that the sacrum is the last thing to touch. So you really have to sort of like round the spine a little bit. Good. Now I'll give you a couple options if you want to go. We'll just do a little bit more back bending. If you want to go into full Urdhva Dhanurasana, you're welcome to. I'm going to take a little bit more of a passive version, supported bridge, so you can bring a block underneath the sacrum. Any level of the block, it can be the lowest level, the medium, or the highest. Just placing the block on the sacrum, which is the very lowest part of the spine, not the lower back, where the spine meets the pelvis. And so from supported bridge, you could also have the option to straighten the legs and also reach the arms over your head, or not. Good, and we'll just spend, if you're doing Urdhva Dhanurasana, then maybe take 5 breaths, come down and take another 5 breaths. So we'll just be here for a little bit. To release the front of the hips. Feel free to play around with the height if you're doing supported. Good. Just a few more moments wherever you are. Stay here longer if you'd like. If you're really gently coming out of it, maybe you're moving the block and hugging the knees into the chest. And then here, feel free to keep hugging the knees, rocking side to side, or maybe take Happy Baby. Happy Baby, you can explore the different positions of the pelvis where first as you reach the knees towards the floor, allow the tailbone to lift. You could also do the same position of the pelvis with the knees hugging in. So you just hug the knees and let the pelvis lift. So you let the tailbone lift off the floor. And then for the opposite, reach the tailbone towards the floor. So you feel the lower back touching the mat in either Happy Baby or hugging the knees. And just hold that for a moment. It's just a really subtle difference, but energetically it's different. Good. And you can release that. We'll do some recline twisting. So letting the knees fall over to the right side. And if there's something else you need to wind down the practice, then please go ahead and do that. If you're in the recline twist, you also have the option of crossing the right leg over the left leg, and that deepens it a little bit. So only if that feels okay. And when you're ready, you can switch sides. This time the right leg can cross over the left. Or you can just keep the knees stacked. And when you're ready, you can make your way to Shavasana if you haven't already. And just do whatever you have to do in Shavasana to get super comfortable. If you want to place a bolster or a pillow underneath the knees, that's nice if you have anything going on in the lower back. If not, allowing the feet to be as wide as you want them to be and the arms as wide as you want them to be with the palms facing up. I like to shrug the shoulders down just to make sure the neck has a lot of space. And even sometimes press into the heels and lengthen the lower back. Closing the eyes if that's comfortable. Just allowing yourself this moment of doing nothing. Releasing everything. Of allowing the earth to support you completely so that you can just fully give into that support, fully surrender into the support of the earth. so that we can allow the space for the practice to integrate deeply within our mind, body, spirit. Feel free to stay here longer if you like. But if you're ready to move out and start to make small movements with the body, deepening the breath. Inhale, reaching the arms over your head for full body stretch. And exhale, bringing the knees into the chest. And falling over to either side. When you're ready, with as little effort as possible, gently make your way back up to a seated position. We'll just sit here for a moment together, closing the eyes if that's comfortable. Finding that center line. And feel it sort of spontaneously reveal itself by feeling into the center of the pelvis. Feeling that energy from the center of the pelvis rise up through the heart, through the throat, through the crown of the head. And just noticing the residue, noticing all that's present for you in this moment. And taking this quality of attention with you throughout the rest of your day, with your interactions with yourself and your interactions with everyone else, with the world. This wide open attention that allows all experience to unfold without judgment, without assessment, with curiosity. Meeting each moment with wide open curiosity. Let's bring the palms together. We'll finish with an Om. Letting the palms press in front of the heart as we take a deep breath in. Thank you, everyone.